Hi friends, it's Ashley from Ashley's Paper Heart, and today I thought we could do something a little bit different. I want to do this in real time, so I wanted to do a real time journal with me and also kind of give a little bit of a life update. So, yeah, we could do that. So, of course, I'm in my Hobonichi. I actually took my book out of the cover just to do the video because my cover, for some reason, on camera was just reading like really dark, and I have no idea why it was, so I just went ahead and took it off. So these are actually little date covers that were sent to me from a really sweet pen pal. And I believe this is Avocado Mori, but I have been loving these. I don't typically do date covers, but I really like these. I really love her artwork. So I've kind of added these to this month, and I'm really excited to use them. So I think the way I'm uploading this, trying to think. The way I'm going to upload this, I'm going to have this up, I guess, tomorrow. So this should be up on the 18th. You should be seeing this on Saturday. I do have other videos that I've pre-recorded that have been edited and stuff that are like before this time period. That I will still upload, but I kind of wanted to get this like life update out. Plus, I also need to announce the giveaway winner for the Your Creative Studio box. So I will go ahead and put the name of the winner because I don't know off the top of my head yet. I need to run that through like a, was it like the randomized pick a name thing? See how eloquent I am when I'm like on the fly. So I'll go ahead and put her name or his name. I will put their name down in the description box, so please check there to see if you're a winner, and if you are, please contact me on my Instagram, which is also linked in the description box, so that I can get your address and mail out your prize. So yeah, so that's kind of like the housekeeping. So I wanted to go ahead and decorate these pages and kind of tell you what I've been up to and some potential changes that will be coming to my channel and to my Instagram, just because my life is having some changes and I want to kind of like go into why. Hopefully you find this interesting. It's going to be a little bit long-winded. I apologize for that, but I promise it's interesting to me, and it's all good news, you know? So I want to start off with, let's start off the long way. First, let's pick some papers before I start talking and losing my train of thought, because I'm sure that will happen. I'm thinking, since I have like so much of like this kind of like purpley color, that we're gonna go with like a purple beigey thing. So I'm just gonna pick out a few of these like scrap pieces of paper that I have like sitting on top that I think would fit. Usually when I'm picking out papers to kind of like lay the base layer down, I want to make sure that I have a light colored paper, a more medium colored paper, which would kind of be these, and then a darker, so that you have like the full breadth of contrast. And that usually will help kind of make your collages look really good, because you're going to have that contrast to show all the pieces that you're using. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I may use some of this just because like the transparency adds a really nice texture. So that's what we're going to start with, and then I'll start picking stickers and ephemera and stuff that match the base layers of what I'm building. Okay, all that being said, so as you guys know, if you've been following me on Instagram and YouTube and stuff, you know that I work in advertising. I am a freelance art director. I have been working in advertising for basically since 2010. So what are we, 11 years now, going on 12? I have been working in advertising actually before that, so maybe 2009. 11 or 12 years I've been in advertising. Um, I got my degree in art and fine art with a major in graphic design, and I have really enjoyed my career, and I've really, you know, I've enjoyed it. It's been fulfilling up until a point. If you can kind of get where I'm going with this. I, so, like, real talk, because that's just kind of who I am. Advertising is a hard business to be in, especially for someone who's like creative and kind of like an empath, because I consider myself like very sensitive to the needs of others. Um, and sometimes, well, yes, I get to be creative for a living. The purpose of the creativeness that I am like doling out for companies that pay me um, is not always my favorite part of the job, because I've worked mainly with retail, um, because honestly that's what pays the bills. I I'm basically doing advertising for companies so that they can sell you things. And while that can be fun and it can serve its purpose, at the end of the day, sometimes it can feel kind of, I don't know, skeezy. If you know what I mean. Um, I especially like look at, you just look at like the where the world's going these days, and you see like the overconsumption, and you see um, the mass produced. And I've worked for companies in the past that are like, I know what the back end looks like. I know where they get product. I know what the factories in India look like. Um, I've had exposure to that. And it's not really, it doesn't bring home a good feeling to basically be selling people things that they don't need, and creating this like myth and this fantasy of, yes, you need this. It's very manipulative, honestly. It's like taking art and making it manipulative. And that has weighed heavily on me for, I'd say, the past couple years. It's definitely, when I went into art, I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to make beautiful things that made people think. And yes, I know I could go into nonprofit and probably be much happier there. Um, but unfortunately, nonprofit doesn't pay well. And at the end of the day, I have two small children, and I have to make a living. You know what I mean? Um, I have worked with nonprofits in the past, and the pay is very underwhelming. Unfortunately, that's just the nature of a nonprofit. Um, but the work can be very fulfilling. For me, because of having kids and stuff, there has to be a balance between the two. Work has to be fulfilling, but also um, it also has to pay the bills. And I know that can be, I know it sounds like it's a very privileged problem to have that, I don't know. I think of is it Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Like, once you like hit your base level needs, like your brain wants to start focusing on these more psychological things. And I know that especially now in the pandemic, where people are out of work and just, suffering, that this can come off as extremely privileged. But I also want to reiterate that everyone's struggles deserve the same amount of weight, because while someone else may struggle, like someone who may be better off than my family may struggle with something, it's not for me to judge if their struggle is, you know, more more of a struggle than my struggle. Like, it's just all relative. And I learned that a long time ago in therapy. Um, by the way, speaking of therapy, I'm not currently in therapy, but I do highly recommend everyone once in your life go to therapy. You will learn a lot about yourself, and there's a lot that can be done even if you're not like going through like a crisis. Sometimes it's just really helpful to have that outside perspective from someone who's not like so tied into your life. They can be not, unbiased about the advice they give you. And plus, they're professionals. They know how to deal with mental health when, as maybe family or friends may not know how to do that. But I had a therapist tell me one time, because I would be like, I was struggling with that at that point when I was in therapy. I was going through a crisis. It was my previous marriage. Man, we are just getting all of that out tonight. Hopefully you don't, hopefully you're not like, next video. I promise I'm getting somewhere positive. But I also want to be real because life isn't always positive, Um, I, I was struggling in my former marriage. I'm married now to my current husband, who is my second marriage and hopefully the last. I don't ever want to go through a divorce again. It was awful. But I would tell my therapist that I felt bad for, I guess, like wallowing in self-pity when, there's war and famine and all that. And who am I to sit here and woe is me over a broken heart? And, I was married for 10 years, so it was a pretty significant broken heart. But she told me that everyone struggles relative to themselves. And you can't compare one person's pain to another person's pain. There's no pain, emotional pain scale that everyone can like be on the equal plane of. So I've taken that to heart over the past couple years. Well, longer than that, obviously, because it's been quite a while since I was talking to someone about all that. That being said, recently I have been kind of feeling that, like, feeling unfulfilled. And I do love what I do. I know, it sounds like weird. It sounds really weird. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten to that, like, place where you love something, but it's just not, it doesn't hold the same magic. And you know that there are better things out there for you. So all that being said, there was a catalyst to my decision. On LinkedIn, I saw someone that I used to be friends with. We actually had a pretty bad falling out a long time ago. It was probably like 8 or 9 years ago now since I spoke to her. We had a pretty bad falling out, but we were really, really good friends. And that's always tough. But I saw that she has kind of basically, she changed careers. She's releasing a book. And I was immediately hit with this like sucker punch of just awful jealousy. And I know jealousy is such a crappy emotion. Sorry, hopefully no one's offended by my language. Jealousy is not a fun emotion. It's not pretty. It's not, it's just not a good emotion. I don't like feeling jealous of things. I strive to feel happy for other people, even people that I've had a falling out with. But I was hit with this like extreme jealousy because I felt like she was doing things that I wanted to do for myself that I had like a million reasons in the world why I couldn't do them. Like, I was going through a divorce. I was trying to jumpstart my life again. I couldn't leave my industry because how else am I going to survive? All those things. And then, kids. Like, in my head, I was like, well, she can do that because she doesn't have any children. But you know what? There are plenty of people with children in this world that live their dreams. And my dreams aren't even like super far out there. they need work. They need me to sit and focus. So I really sat there and I thought really long and hard about where that jealousy was stemming from. And I've come to the conclusion, and I'm sure that other people have said this more eloquently, is that I feel like when we get jealous, it's because we have unfulfilled desires or unfulfilled needs that we're seeing other people have fulfilled. And then that causes jealousy. So I sat and I thought, well, what needs, what desires am I not having fulfilled? What do I want out of life? Because it's easy to get like stuck in the daily grind and to feel like you're absolutely stuck. Something that this time during the pandemic has really awakened in me is that life is precious. Life is one time. You got one chance at this. And if there are things that you don't do because you're scared or because you feel like you can't and you don't even attempt to do it, like, you don't get another chance. So I sat with that for a long time, like a month. Sometimes it takes me a while to like ruminate on these things because I really want to think long and hard about this. So I was thinking, well, what am I missing? What am I not happy about? And so the answer is that when I went to art school initially I wanted to change the world. I wanted to make people think. I wanted to leave a lasting impression. I felt like that was my calling. And then I got suckered into advertising, which, no shade to advertising. Advertising's great. You know, we all need, companies need it. It does serve a purpose. You know, I'm not even really paying attention to where I'm putting stuff. I'm just kind of like sticking stuff wherever. But I feel like this is kind of like a nice little flow, and we're going to start adding stuff on top of this. So, what was I saying? See, I'm really distracted. I was trying to figure out what am I missing? What am I longing for? What did I want? So, like I said, I wanted to change the world. I wanted to be heard. I wanted to tell a story. And I feel like, one, YouTube has really given me that ability to connect with you guys and to feel like not so alone in this world, especially now with everything that's going on and, you know, social distancing. And man, it's been a rough one. I know you guys are feeling that too. But I really took a long, hard look about what I wanted. I wanted to inspire others. Excuse me. Really wanted to inspire others. I wanted to create art. That's the whole reason I went into art. And working in advertising and doing, you know, graphic design or photography or concepting, that's not the kind of art that drives me. It's not. So I talked a lot to my husband, a lot. We had a lot of conversations. My husband is incredibly supportive. I could not ask for a more supportive partner in my life. He is just a freaking godsend. Like, you have no idea. So we had a lot of talking, and he did say something to me. I think I mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned this in another video, or maybe it's a video I've filmed previously and haven't uploaded yet. But he told me, fortune favors the bold. And I know that's like an old saying, like probably really old. But that really stuck with me. And I'm like, how many times in my life have I been too afraid to do something that I really wanted to do, but was just too afraid? I was afraid to fail. I was afraid to look stupid. I was afraid of like so many things. And I was like, do I really want to let fear get in the way of my dreams? And the answer to that is no, I don't. I don't want fear to get in the way of my dreams because I got one chance at this. You know what I mean? And I have to at least try. And that's what I've been telling myself. I have to at very least attempt it. Because if I never attempt it, then I never know what could have happened. But if I attempt it and fail, then I know, at least I tried. So, what are my dreams? What are my goals? I want to create art. I want to create art that makes people feel something, that makes people think. And I also want to teach. I have, ever since I went to college, teaching was always something that was really on my heart. I had such positive, experience in school. The professors made, a profound impact on my life. They helped me believe in myself when I had, zero confidence I could do it. They showed me, technique and ability, and I just learned so much. And they made such a huge impact on my life. I can think of 3 or 4 of them that just made the hugest impact on my life. And still today I think about them, and some of them I stay in contact with because they're just wonderful people. And I want to do that for others. I had so when I was in college, I actually started out in film because I wanted to be a filmmaker. I thought that photography talent would transfer well to film. For me, it did not. But then I found that I was actually really good at graphic design and didn't even know it. So, but when I was in film, one of our professors, the one who was the head of the department, she said that the best thing that we can do when we get out there as professionals is to find a way to give back. Give back to the up-and-coming artists. Give back to the up-and-coming people who are trying to learn the craft, the trade, whatever. That's the best thing that we could do. And that stuck with me. That really, really stuck with me. And that's partially why I started doing YouTube. It's because I wanted to share technique, and I wanted to inspire and give back to the community that I love so, so much. But that's not exactly what I'm talking about. It is a part of it, but not completely. Anyways, so I've wanted to teach for a long time, and I've wanted to teach at a college level. In order to teach at a college level, you have to have a master's degree. Now, I have been out of school for 11, 12 years now, so the thought of going back and getting my master's is incredibly intimidating. And even more so, the master's that I would like to get, of course, is in fine arts, but it's in studio art or drawing and painting. And in order to get into a master's program, which one is extremely competitive, but in order to get into a master's program, you have to have a portfolio of fine art. And I have not focused on my fine art in years. I do things here and there, but not to the extent, not to the quality that they're looking for. So I always kind of just brushed it off as that it wasn't going to happen. I didn't have time to sit in concept. I didn't have time to brush up on my technical skills. I didn't have time. That's why I kept telling myself. And then, obviously getting to school, I don't have the money. I don't have the money to pay for school. I already owe a bunch of student loan debt that I'll probably be paying on for the next 10 years. And it just didn't seem feasible. But comes along, I think opportunity starts pushing us in directions. So, like I've said in like other videos and stuff, I got an opportunity to get a really good part-time freelance gig that's ongoing. It's going to be long term, and it's it's sitting me pretty. I'm sitting pretty with it. It's working out really well. The hours are the hours that I call because I'm a contractor, I'm a consultant, so I work for myself. I'm still self-employed, but I've gotten to the point where I can be self-employed, make my own hours, and have that time. I can have that time to start going towards that goal. And then another thing is that my daughter, she'll be going to school next year, and that opens up a lot of time. I know we do have a nanny who watches our kids during the week. So having that like childcare and having that extra time, I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I not going after this? And I have always like dreamed of going to UCLA. So that's like all the way back to high school, even junior high. I had dreams of going to UCLA, but I just saw it so far away. I'll never make it in California. Why would I ever be in California? Like, how would I even get to California? Um, and lo and behold, I marry a man who's a native to California, who wants to come back to California because he grew up here. Um, and he gets a job out here. And we move to California, of all places. Somewhere I never thought I would live. And we're making it, you know? And I thought all of these things are just like lining up. And sometimes I feel like the universe is just telling us, go for it. This is the time. The time is now. Go for it. And that's kind of what I've been feeling. I felt like, things have really lined up. They've lined up in a way that is like, well, what's stopping me now? Nothing. Nothing is stopping me now. I am the only thing that's stopping me. So over the past couple weeks, I've been working really hard. I've been painting and concepting, and this is going to be a big undertaking because most graduate programs want to see 15 to 20 pieces, and they want to see a strong concept between all of them. So it's not like a random patchwork of work. You have to really think critically, what is the message I want to send with my art? What am I trying to portray to the world? And then you need to create pieces around that show technical ability, that show, composition and lighting and all that stuff. And that stuff's hard. Like, I enjoy it immensely, but it's hard. So I've really been taking the past few weeks and I've been painting and I've been trying new mediums. I started oil painting. I got really inspired by one of my really sweet pen pals, and I would dare say call her a friend, who does these amazing paintings. She's an amazing oil painter. And I finally just got over my intimidation of oils, and oh my God, it is one of the most beautiful mediums I have ever used in my life. Paintings literally glow. And I've been, like yesterday, my husband and I went to some of the modern art museums in downtown LA so that I could get some inspiration and kind of like really center myself on what I'm trying to accomplish. Other things in my goal besides teaching is I want to be in a large gallery. I want to have a showing. I've done a few when I was in college. I did have a few pieces in a few galleries around Dallas, but nothing big, nothing like huge. I want to go bigger. I want the world to see my art. I want to inspire. And so that's kind of where I'm going with all this. So yeah, I have started working on my portfolio. I found a art school, like a private art school, and I'm getting private lessons from the owner of the school. He is kind of helping me brush up on my portrait skills because let me tell you, drawing people is hard, and drawing people accurately is even harder. Um, if if you're not classically trained in drawing, and I mean, I learned this stuff way back in the day. I just don't utilize it because it's a lot of work. And but this is kind of what they're looking for when they're looking at your portfolio. They want to see that you can draw the human figure or draw whatever you're drawing, but draw it accurately. When you're drawing specifically the human figure, or right now I'm working on face, like the face, there's a lot of underdrawing that goes under it. Like if you think about paintings, old paintings, the old masters, Leonardo, Da Vinci, stuff like that, they all had extensive drawings underneath the paintings. It wasn't like they just like started painting. They had structure, and that is to help if you're trying to be accurate and you're trying to really capture someone's essence. You have to concentrate. You have to get the angles of the face right. Any subtle shift in the features can make someone look completely different, and then they don't look like the person. And because paintings with people in them are always something that really like speak to me, I wanted to make sure that I had that in the bag. And that's not even talking about style. I'm not, by nature, I don't draw like super realistically. I draw more, when I draw in paint, I'm more impressionistic in my drawings, but you still have to have structure. You know what I mean? And so I've been taking lessons and brushing up on my stuff and sketching a lot, drawing and drawing and drawing faces over and over and over again. It's hard. It's a lot of hard work, but I feel so fulfilled. So what I want to say is that this is what I'm going to be doing. The deadline to apply for next year, I'd have to have everything done by January. I don't know if that's a realistic deadline for me. I think it may end up being like 2023, which would give me, over a year to put together my portfolio, which is fine. Maybe I'll make it in this year. Maybe I won't. I'm not going to rush myself. I'm not going to overstress because that affects the quality of the work. And this is going to be a good test in perseverance and dedication for me. But it's going to be worth it. And when I apply, I will be applying to multiple schools. I've already have a list of schools that I want to. Top of my list is UCLA. I want to get into that school so badly. So I know that I'm going to have like a killer portfolio. It's going to have to like knock their socks off because I know it's competitive. Master's programs are extremely competitive to get into. And then you think about these top art schools, even partially thinking about trying to apply to the Rhode Island School of Design. I know I would have to move. My husband says he's okay with that. We both work remotely, so honestly, we could live anywhere in the country and still work. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm going to continue to be doing. And obviously, I'm still going to be journaling. I love journaling. It's another extension of art to me, and I love making videos and content. But I'm going to have to slow down on the content. I guess that's kind of like the main thing that would really affect any of this. I probably will scoot back to doing 2 to 3 videos a week instead of 4. I probably won't be posting every day on Instagram, but most days. I've already kind of been pulling back a little bit. I'm sure no one noticed. I am not the center of the universe. I understand that. Um, but I do want to give you guys a heads up that's kind of like some of the changes that will be coming. I do want to share this process with you guys too. I want to share this journey because honestly, when I was doing my research about what a portfolio should look like, I was coming up blank on a lot of stuff. I found a few YouTube channels where they talk specifically, like professors from colleges and stuff talk specifically about what these programs are looking for, but I have not found a lot of examples of what a portfolio should look like. So I'm kind of like shooting my arrows in the dark. And I want to take you guys on this journey with me because I feel like it's going to be really exciting and fun. And I know that if you enjoy journaling and the way that I journal, then I'm sure you will enjoy what I'm going to be doing moving forward. So I want to start incorporating some painting videos, stuff like that. Obviously, not everything will be that because that's not the only thing in my life that I'm excited about. I still love doing this. But I may be experimenting with other journaling styles. And honestly, a part of me wants to figure out how to take some of this collage, vintagey vibes and bring it into my paintings. And I got some really good ideas when my husband and I went to the Broad. It's a modern art museum in downtown LA. There were some artists, some painters that had collaged newspapers or comic book pages under their paintings, and then they would like paint on top of it with the oil paint and scrape away so that you could see part of that in different areas of the painting. It was so freaking cool. So I want to see if I can figure out a way to incorporate vintage papers and vintage, vintagey goodness, ephemera into my paintings. It's going to take some work. It's going to take some concepting, but I have some ideas. And I want to take you guys along in the journey with me. And hopefully, I know this video is a little bit long, obviously, but I'm almost done. I hope you guys will want to watch. And if not, that's fine. Feel free to skip over those videos. There will still be journaling content on here and on Instagram. So if you're not following me there, go ahead and, check the description. Follow me on Instagram. I love talking to you guys. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing some painting videos here and there. I probably will try to do like a half and half thing, just depending on how much painting I do. And a part of me is like, Ashley, you can just like really push yourself and get this done and apply in January. But then a part of me is like, no, this shouldn't be rushed. This needs to be good. But then other parts of me are like, a lot of times when people apply for a master's program the first time, they don't even get in. So should I like rush and try to get it in? And then if I don't get in this year, then just refine and then try again next year? Or should I really like sink in like a full year of this and hope that I get in 2023? I don't know. Still up in the air. But that's kind of the journey that I'm going on. That's where I want to go. I want to teach. I want to teach at a college level. I want to give back. I want to inspire and help other people who are up and coming go on that path. And in order to do that, I have to have a master's degree. So that's where we're at. So yeah, that's kind of what my life update is. I hope that this was interesting to you. Yeah, I hope it was interesting to you. And if you are in a master's program or an art program of any kind, or even not an art program, just getting your master's or your doctorates, and you have any advice, please tell me in the comments below. I am totally new on this journey and I could use all the support and all the encouragement and all the advice in the world to kind of help me along. So yeah, this is what the final page looks like. And I will be doing my journaling as soon as I let you guys go. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe. And check the description box for the giveaway winner. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.